guys, today we're going to share some simple advice for how to feel productive with little effort.
We're parents and we're both over 30, so really our life from this point onward is all about conserving energy, so stick with us.
Lucas, our youngest, he's a year and a half, and lately he's developed a love for our Tupperware drawer, which means that every day he pulls out all the Tupperware, we put it back in, he pulls it out, we put it back in, and yeah, you might say, why put it back in? But we're trying to teach him that that's where it belongs, and what
I think it's kind of weird if we're like just using Tupperware off of the floor when we need to use Tupperware. So, sorry,
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
But the point is that by the end of the day, I feel exhausted and I don't feel like I've really accomplished anything organizing wise, at least.
And he's actually done the same thing with the kids' board game cupboard here in the living room. You know, he kept pulling puzzles out and games, and then you'd end up putting it back at the end of each day.
It's like the definition of insanity, of like going through those motions again and again and again and expecting things to be different.
What we did is we child-proofed the kids' board game cupboard, and now every evening we do not have to do those things. Our video today is not exactly about that, but it's about something that's very related to that, and that is how you can do things that make it so that afterwards life is easier.
Exactly. And really, how long did it take you to childproof that cupboard?
It took me longer than I expected, but it was like 15 minutes instead of maybe 5 minutes. Yeah. Still enough for me to get frustrated with like the screwdriver and but that's just me.
I childproofed the rest of them, and it took me like 5 minutes per cupboard, just saying.
I married well. If you want to feel productive with little effort, then you have to focus on what we call the one-offs. Yeah, if you take a snapshot of your home, not like, you know, a physical snapshot, but a mental one of everything that you might want or need to do around the house, then using very broad strokes, you could basically split those things into two categories. The one is the one-offs, and the other one is everything else. And the one-offs are basically the things that make everything else that little bit easier. And we've mentioned this in previous videos, but we're actually going to give you some more concrete examples of how you can learn to start identifying the one-offs in your home.
And also, by focusing on the one-offs, you eliminate the risk of feeling like you're working all day long and you get nothing done. So you don't focus on the repetitives like laundry, because that's always gonna come again, or dishes, because they're always gonna come again. So you focus on those things that are not gonna reappear 5 seconds after you're done.
Exactly, and that's really the first criteria for a one-off, that it's not repetitive. So if you think about the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, just the stuff that you're actually spending your time on right now, ask yourself, am I going to be doing this task again within the next few hours, the next day, the next week? And the more repetitive it is, the less you should be focusing your energy on those types of tasks if you want to feel productive with little effort.
That was good. So for example, our sink in our bathroom upstairs. It's been working great for a few months, but then a few days ago, the water started not draining as fast as we would like. So when the kids brush their teeth, or us when we brush our teeth,
we also brush our teeth,
it gets kind of like nasty, and the water goes out, and then that left
there's like the little fluff, the foamy stuff, toothpastey foamy stuff. Who wants that? Who wants to talk about that? Let's move on. Okay.
So you know what we're talking about here. So that's kind of nasty, and every time you want to clean the sink, it's like, what's the point? Because you can't even really get it clean and having the water drain fast enough.
And this is not a surprise. This happens every few months where you have to, you know, put on your plumber hats and overalls. I don't actually do that, but I'm the one that's, you know, generally responsible for cleaning out the drain and clean out the drain. And it's disgusting, but it takes like 5 minutes, and then afterwards, you know, you don't have to worry about it for the next few months.
Grood. I have so much respect for my grandpa, who was a plumber.
I am like the luckiest woman on the planet, because he cleans the drains. Before we got married, me and my roommate lived together, and I was the one cleaning the drain, and it was the nastiest thing. Like, I did it for a few years, but this is one of the reasons why I love this man.
Yeah, I definitely get overalls though.
No.
But speaking of drains, another criteria for one-offs in our books is something that drains energy. So we have this clock upstairs. We've got the batteries for that clock downstairs. The batteries for the clock upstairs are not working anymore, so that clock has been stuck and not telling us the right time, thus not doing its job or fulfilling the measure of its creation.
And it's been draining on my energy just to like look at the clock. Oh, what? No, that's not the time. And then having to find another clock or like finding my phone.
And it's usually like when you're getting up in the morning, you're trying to get ready.
Yeah, like so it's not like a huge thing. What's it gonna be, like another 2 seconds to find a phone? But the problem is that it's usually in times where I'm stressed or like I have to be in a hurry or something like that, and it's just
focused.
It's just mental blockage that doesn't have to be there.
Yeah, so draining energy. Focus on finding the tasks that drain your energy and getting those out of the way.
Eliminate them. The third criteria is something that makes a difference for you going forward. So think about the domino effect. Like if you do this, then it will help that a lot of other things will be easier or happier or nicer.
Yeah, exactly. So one example of that in our lives is our yard. We're not, we don't have green thumbs. We usually, when we do yard work, we would go out and obviously like pull weeds, and it was like putting out fires constantly. It took forever to pull the weeds, and then 2 weeks later we'd be...
They keep coming back.
Yeah, that's the thing about weeds. So anyways, we thought, what could we do that will make the act of doing yard work and keeping our yard looking nice easier going forward? So we got a blanket that we put over the flower beds, and then we put some wood chips on top of that, and now it looks really nice, and it takes 1/10 of the time to pull weeds and do yard work. The domino effect. This is the key to how to feel productive with little effort. Now, not to say that everything you do has to be a one-off. There are things that are repetitive that, don't have any massive domino effect for your day-to-day life that you will need to do on a day-to-day basis. But the key to how to feel productive with little effort is to focus on those things that have that domino effect and that do make your life easier and that drain your energy when you have to work with them or clean them up or look at them or what have you.
Yeah, and to mingle those one-offs in with those repetitive chores that you really have to do anyways. So that it's kind of a good balance of getting some one-offs done that makes your life easier and still maintaining the day-to-day. Now the last criteria of a one-off is that it has to be a low-hanging fruit. It shouldn't be contingent on a bunch of other things having to be in place and having to be done before you can actually do this. So if it's like a box you have in your living room that you need to put it into the attic, then if the stairs to the attic are broken and needs to be fixed before you can even get up there, then yeah, the box itself is a one-off, but you can't do it before a bunch of other things are fixed. Yeah. So not filling the criteria.
What's an example of a one-off that you could do around the house today to feel productive with little effort? Scroll down, write your answer, click post, and let us know.
Yeah, and if you like this video, make sure also to hit that thumbs up button and let us know you like the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, whoa, hit the subscribe button as well so you can follow us in the future.
Now, it takes time to learn how to identify one-offs pretty easily and get to them before, focusing on the other things that aren't as rewarding to finish. But one great example of a one-off that you could do is to pick a small organizing project that you can do around the house. Because when you organize, you're putting things where you need them, you're putting things where they belong so that you know where they are when you need them, and you can get hold of them with little effort. And if you organize correctly, you don't have to do it again within the next few months or even years.
Yeah, and those projects could be as small as like a drawer in your desk, or it could be as big as your entire closet. So whatever you have time for, pick that and get it done.
But just like learning how to recognize one-offs, learning how to organize in an effective way is something that just takes time and energy and effort.
It does, and there's really no way around that because it's like learning a new language. It's also hard, but you'll be happy with it in the end.
But it's always good to have a good teacher, and if you want to avoid some of the common mistakes that people make while they're in the process of organizing and learning how to organize, then we've put together a nice handy little guide with the top 3 mistakes that you can make while organizing, and rather how to avoid those mistakes. And you can go grab that on our website right now.
And also right now we're actually offering some one-on-one free consultations that you can schedule by clicking the link below, and then we'll just help you get started on your organizing efforts.
No strings attached. What's in it for us is just getting a better understanding of where you guys are coming from and how we can help you out. So hopefully we can help each other out in that process.
Okay, I think we'll leave it at that, and we'll see you either on our website, in our consultation calls, or in next week's video.
Yep, same time, same place.
2 types of assignments around the house that you could
Okay.
I heard it.
Speaking of drains, I think Lucas is crying.
I think it's very normal. I think in most of these parenting videos, there are kids speaking in the background. That's fine.
So it's
I think we should just keep going.